On behalf of the Brooke Association, thank you. Thank you for coming. Another year has gone by, and it takes something special to put 60 human beings in a room from all four corners of the United States and Hawaii, which is part of the United States. I won't kid you about that. Well, every time I look out, this is our actually our 6th get-together, but 5th actual reunion as an association. I got to tell you, every time I look at this and I think of how this has grown, and to see a lot of the same faces have come back each year, it's like a family reunion. And for the new members who have come, simple word, welcome. Welcome to the Brooke family that after 40-some years, we're still all together again. That's really something special. Now, what I'd like to do before we go into the segment where you throw things at me. No. Oftentimes when I look out here, now remember, I'm just a youngster. I'm going to be 61 next month, so I'm a youngster compared to a lot of the folks that are out here. And I'm older than some, too, obviously. I'm getting kicked by Dick Blackington right now, calling me kid. I got the kid tap. The old part. But you know, what I find very unique about this, and I said this back in 2003 up in Seattle, and I'd like to try to repeat it each year. I know who I am at 61 years of age. I know what I've gone through in my life, just like you. But there are certain people in this room that when I was 18 years of age had a very significant impact on my life. They taught me not only what it was like to be a sailor, but what it was like to be a man. And whatever successes I may have had or in my life, I always attribute it to those men. And I mean, I publicly thank Dick Blackington, Jose Bracamonte, I mean, Del Turner. These were my mentors as an 18, 19-year-old kid. And that is a hell of a thing to be standing around at 61 going, they're still here. We're all on this side of the grass. Good deal. Good deal. So, you know, thank you. And I would like to think that a lot of you in here, you're my age. I mean, you've been there and you understand that. Something on that ship, Navy, whatever, something motivated us and allowed us to move through life. And here we are. Here we are 40-some years later. So, without further ado and not getting maudlin or anything like that, what I'd like to do is turn down the Subic Bay music over here for a moment. I had a flashback to a Longapole for a second. We're out of here. No, what I would like to do is take a few moments, and in this case here, Dick Blackington was the first executive officer at the USS Brooke, and he has been a part of this. Steve and I have known him for years. We've had the opportunity down in San Diego to get together with him. And I think it's only appropriate that we just take a few moments, and Dick would like to say a few words to the group. And I promise I will jerk on him after about 10 minutes, right? Right? All right. I got you, my friend. There we are. All right. I'll get your stick for you. Got that. And I can set this up over here.
Well, as most of you can see, there's been a couple of changes in my life. Still married to the same girl, 51 years with her, so I think she knows me kind of well. But as importantly, one of the things that I can hold claim to as the senior officer present ashore is to hand out some things. So I want Steve and Tom, you guys come up here for a minute, would you please? And in recognition of their efforts on behalf of the association, I commissioned the Northwest Mint to make up some medals, and I'm going to present these. So would you take that, put that around your neck, or put it around his, because I don't move too well. But as you can see, these are little Brooke shields that I had done, and I think these two guys deserved a standing room of applause for their fantastic efforts, because these two guys are the heart and soul of keeping this association going. The second thing I want to say is to the ladies present. I want you to know that your husbands were lovers, friends, whatever you want to call them, were handpicked for this ship. And if you don't believe me, just ask Jim Hanna, because he was the first guy to look at their service record. And all these men present passed Jim Hanna's muster, so you better go over and give him a kiss before he leaves. Of course, the ones that didn't pass muster aren't here for obvious reasons. Now, the other day I was telling Julie that my grandson came up and asked me, he said, "Can I ask you a personal question, Grandpa?" And I said, "Sure." He said, "Well, what kind of undershorts do you wear, you know, the boxer type or the jockey type?" And I looked up and I said, "Depends." But the second question after that, he said, "Why did you join the Navy?" And so I said, "Well, let me tell you, I like standing on the bridge wing at sunrise with the salt spray on my face and clean ocean winds whipping in from the four quarters of the globe. The ship beneath me feeling like a living thing as her engines drove her swiftly through the sea. I like the sounds of the Navy, the piercing trill of the bosun's pipe, the syncopated changes of the ship's bell on the quarterdeck, the harsh squawk of the 1MC in strong language, and you know sailors and their strong language. But I like the Navy ships, the nervous darting destroyers, plotting fleet auxiliaries, amphibs, sleek submarines, and of course, destroyer escorts. I like the proud names: Midway, Lexington, Saratoga, Coral Sea, Antietam, Valley Forge, or the tin cans, escorts: Barney, Dahlgren, Molyneux, Brooke, Sample, Page, Fuhrer, to mention a few. The heroes were before us and others: San Jose, San Diego, Los Angeles. By the way, for those who are unknowing, San Diego had the longest service record in War II of any ship. Never had a scratch on her, but she did the longest service in Westpac. The tempo of the Navy band blaring through the topside speakers as we pulled away from the Ola after refueling. We always did that. We played some songs, and but I like that, and I like the Liberty calls and the spices scent of a foreign port, even like the never-ending paperwork and all hands working parties as the ship filled herself with multitudes of supplies, both mundane and the real stuff like ammo. I like the sailors and the officers, the enlisted men from all parts of the land, from the Midwest, small towns of New England, from cities, mountains, prairies, all walks of life. And I trusted and depended on them. And I'll never forget, years ago when I was at the Naval War College, Admiral Ali Burke, who was then CNO, came up and delivered us a lecture that I will never forget. And here was an audience filled with senior officers and junior officers like myself. And he said, "Don't you ever forget how you got here. You got here on the back of the North American Blue Jacket. And you are the North American Blue Jacket. Thank you." I trusted them, and they depended on me for my professional competence, for comradeship, for strength, courage. In a word, we were shipmates, then and forever. Anyway, I won't bore you with all of this, but just to say thank you.
The show begins. You see, and that is why.